Welcome back to Stop 3 on the 2023 Championship Tour MEO Ripco Portugal Pro, presented by Corona. Out in the water, heat number 8 of the round. Kanoa Igarashi taking on Samuel Pupo.
Jack's pretty much standard, stock standard, very zen, all the way across the board. He'll even get down there on the beach end and put it together. And throw down a little 10-minute meditation in front of the crowd.
Samuel Pupo just zigging and zagging across this. Just applying the rail, and he's so good at making sure he nails the finish.
As we see Samuel Pupo on the way beforehand, beautiful snap though, and just a vicious one. And with the higher tide, there's going to be more of these waves. They're not easy to ride, but they're always going to be an opportunity. And then there's still those barrels. And ultimately, when you look at the text from what we saw at Renato Hickel this week, behind it, pumps up into it. That wasn't an easy barrel to deal with. It had one big chandelier that he had to go over, and then a little pop at the end just for good measure. Almost kind of like that was a claim. Look at that. Just that chandelier, he rode over the foam ball, and that big pump allowed him to glide over the top of it, lift that score above the 4-point range. And then you watch that snap right there. One big hooking snap for Kanoa Igarashi. That came in at a 5.23. Or the rip just moves out at different spots. You know, his sets will come in at this side and push the rip over in that area. So you just got to be on it.
Here goes Samuel Pupo on a meaty right-hander. Unable to find a section to really tee off on there. So just a couple of pumps to an exit for him.
We saw the 10. We saw high 7s from the two surfers. I mean, poor Maxime Husseneau, you know, in that elimination round. Get back to that.
Big whipping turn and another one, hitting it hard in full flow. Igarashi, he does a little snap under the lip as that white water.
And a really good call by the crew here to call it off during that period of time. Watching this replay here on the backhand, 2 quick snaps for Kanoa. You know, in relation to the turn, the one single maneuver that we saw, the big layback snap. And there, as you can see, that's the major sandbar that we've seen. And the rip pulls out right there, and it puts all the sand right there in the zone.
All right, great looking shot here from our drone, and driving through the tube with absolutely tons of speed. Came so close to making it out as well, and just clipped to the end, agonizing.
Oh, so agonizing, and he did everything. He was pumping through it, carrying his speed well.
And maneuvers as well. Here's Pupo.
Going to the rail, and this was happening during the break. 2 beautiful snaps. That's the kind of wave he wanted to see, and a third. So this is going to be a pretty good number here for Sammy, and he's going to keep himself in this heat. Still plenty of time as well. Look at this, another section up and grinds that one. Oh, he didn't pull it off. All that work.
Just wonder how that'll change his approach. We talked about that in the past, how people react to the yellow jersey. Definitely seems like he does have a little bit of a shell around him psychologically. Meanwhile, live action from Igarashi on a meaty one. Looking for an opening, wasn't it? It wasn't really there.
Again, showcasing a little variety on the back end. You can get a little bit monotonous in that top-to-bottom style surfing, but all those turns looked pretty darn solid and a little bit different.
Samuel Pupo streaking off the bottom. Just jams one in a high line pocket, and then a big float hit from him, and he's fired up. And he wants something from the panel here. The requirement he's looking for, 6.88, the critical sec.
Let's take a look here again. First turn timed well, nice driving turn, and then the big float, and hangs it up there, lands it, and he loves it. Gets the crowd involved. That's one of the things that...
Jack Robinson getting tubed, that's super tubos. Meanwhile, Igarashi swooping off the top with speed, a smaller wave, and looking for the 5.63, Pete.
Yeah, I mean, who identified that wave was Jack, and sitting in the non-priority heat, he would have had to give way to Kanoa.
We're going to count down here. And after a season, a career best 5th in the world for Kanoa Igarashi, making it all the way to the finals at Trestles. It could be disappointment for him as we'll count down here, and we'll check out Samuel Pupo with an absolute ton of speed using that priority.
Man.
How's that turn? Just lays it in hard into the lip. Big degree of difficulty. He's ripping.
Oh, I would say, yeah, that was good work by Sammy to be able to turn that heat.
Samuel Pupo turns it on his head. Kanoa Igarashi, another upset here. He'll bow out of competition. We'll bring in more live action from Portugal.